gentleman being assisted into a first-class carriage by a man of butlerine aspect, and in the latter he recognised the servitor who had admitted him to 18A Upper Brook Street when he visited the house after solving the riddle of the missing celium. Obviously, then, the white-haired, dignified passenger could be none other than Lord Brangbolton, and Adrian felt that if on a long train journey he failed to ingratiate himself with the old buster, he had vastly mistaken his amiability and winning fascination of manner. He leapt in, accordingly, as the train began to move, and the Earl, glancing up from his paper, jerked a thumb at the door. "Get out, blast you," he said. "Full up." As the compartment was empty but for themselves, Adrian made no move to comply with the request. Indeed, to alight now, to such an extent had the train gathered speed, would have been impossible. Instead, he spoke cordially. "Lord Brangbolton, I believe." "Go to hell," said his lordship. "I fancy we are to be fellow guests at Westbing Hall this weekend." "What of it?" "I just mentioned it." "Oh," said Lord Brangbolton. "Well, since you're here, how about a little flutter?" As is customary with men of his social position, Millicent's father always travelled with a pack of cards. Being gifted by nature with considerable manual dexterity, he usually managed to do well with these on race trains. "Ever played Persian monarchs?" he asked, shuffling. "I think not," said Adrian. "Quite simple," said Lord Brangbolton. "You just bet a quid, or whatever it may be, that you can cut a higher card than the other fella, and if you do, you win, and if you don't, you don't." Adrian said it sounded a little like blind hooky. "It is like blind hooky," said Lord Brangbolton. "Very like blind hooky. In fact, if you can play blind hooky, you can play Persian monarchs." By the time they alighted at Westbing Parva, Adrian was £20 on the wrong side of the ledger. The fact, however, did not prey upon his mind. On the contrary, he was well satisfied with the progress of events. Elated with his winnings, the old Earl had become positively cordial, and Adrian resolved to press his advantage home at the earliest opportunity. Arrived at Westbing Hall accordingly, he did not delay. Shortly after the sounding of the dressing gong, he made his way to Lord Brangbolton's room and found him in his bath. "Might I have a word with you, Lord Brangbolton?" he said. "You can do more than that," replied the other with marked amiability. "You can help me find the soap." "Have you lost the soap?" "Yes, had it a minute ago. Now it's gone." "Strange," said Adrian. "Very strange," agreed Lord Brangbolton. "Makes a fellow think a bit, that sort of thing happening. My own soap, too. Brought it with me." Adrian considered. "Tell me exactly what occurred," he said, "in your own words, and tell me everything, please, for one never knows when the smallest detail may not be important." His companion marshalled his thoughts. "My name," he began, "is Reginald Alexander Montacute James Bramfile Tregennis Shipton Bellinger, 5th Earl of Brangbolton. On the 16th of the present month, today in fact, I journeyed to the house of my friend Sir Sutton Hartley Westbing Bart, here, in short, with the purpose of spending the weekend there. Knowing that Sir Sutton likes to have his guests sweet and fresh about the place, I decided to take a bath before dinner. I unpacked my soap, and in a short space of time had lathered myself thoroughly from the neck upwards, and then, just as I was about to get at my right leg, what should I find but that the soap had disappeared? Nasty shock it gave me, I can tell you." Adrian had listened to this narrative with the closest attention. Certainly the problem appeared to present several points of interest. "It looks like an inside job," he said thoughtfully. "It could scarcely be the work of a gang. You would have noticed a gang. Just give me the facts briefly once again, if you please." "Well, I was here, in the bath, as it might be, and the soap was here, between my hands, as it were. Next moment it was gone." "Are you sure you have omitted nothing?" Lord Brangbolton reflected. "Well, I was singing, of course." A tense look came into Adrian's face. "Singing what?" "Sonny Boy." Adrian's face cleared. "As I suspected," he said with satisfaction. "Precisely as I'd supposed. I wonder if you're aware, Lord Brangbolton, that in the singing of that particular song, the muscles unconsciously contract as you come to the final boy."
Thus, I still have you, sonny boy.
You observe, it would be impossible for anyone rendering the number with the proper gusto not to force his hands together at this point, assuming they were in anything like close juxtaposition. And if there were any slippery object